What is up, guys? Master Finished today, and again, we're returning. We had a very good day so far. Anyways, we're going to be talking about decaffeination and the truth. And I have to stress about this first. As we talk about all the time, Master Finished, it's major to have a balance of microminerals, macronutrients, microminerals, and vitamins, and to make sure it gets down to esophagus, to the gastrointestinal tract. And that's not half digested. When this happens, you have this dense blockage of saturated fats, lipids, foods high in cholesterol. You have polyunsaturated fats that are higher in cholesterol, that have an LDL buildup. There are also dense foods, along with protein rich, protein dense, carbohydrate dense, and carbohydrate rich. So the thing is that the macronutrients, microminerals, and vitamins gets down to the esophagus, to your gastrointestinal tract. It cannot break through the dense blockage, so because of that, it gets stuck. It gets half digested, it does not get fully digested. So we have to rely on soluble fiber probiotics to break that dense blockage, so it can be fully digested, being broken down, processed, synthesized. Energy can be released. Catabolic breakdown, broken down, processed, synthesized the nutrients, micronutrients, microminerals, and vitamins. So it can be broken down, processed, synthesized. Energy can be released. Your basal metabolic rate, require amount of energy necessary to make metabolites. Get to a point where you're carbohydrate sensitive, empty calorie sensitive. When you cannot burn off the carbohydrates, you cannot burn the empty calories off. So in return to that, it gets stored as fat rather than burning it off and storing it as energy and keep burning it off, making more metabolites from that point on. So you just gain an unneeded body composition. So now the thing about this, we're gonna talk about the resetting your metabolism. So get down to a hypotonic state, get down to a hypocaloric state, whether it's through intermittent fasting, whether it's through cutting and changing the amount of portion size you have, waiting longer time to eat, duration, skipping a meal. That's all. You have this kind of clock zone in intermediate fasting. I mean, yeah, I made an intermittent fasting video. At the end of this video, of course, you can go on that. Any of my videos I got, but we're going to be talking about decaffeination, the truth. Something that I've not talked about in Brass Surface. That I've been really excited. So get down to a hypotoxic state, you have muscle tone neural. Get down to a hypocaloric state, you have less caloric deficit, burn the fat, increase your caloric intake, and food science nutrition value, and brown foods. So you get to a point where you're carbohydrate sensitive, empty calorie sensitive, you're not metabolically active. So what I mean by that is you usually have no metabolites being made. You have a low metabolism, it's not as efficient, not as strong, and not as fast. Get out to a point where you're carbohydrate sensitive, empty calorie sensitive. You cannot burn off and utilize energy because you cannot burn off. It gets stored as fat. It gets utilized as fat. So the thing is get down to a caloric deficit and you burn the fat, increase your caloric intake and foods high in nutritive value, and gradually increase your caloric intake. Get to a point where you're hypercaloric and you're hypertonic, you have muscle tone higher than normal. So the thing after that, having muscle tone higher than normal, usually have vascularity, you have a gaining basal metabolic rate, and along with that, you have vascularity. But that's it. So get down to a hypotonic state, get down to a hypocaloric state, less calories, burn the fat, increase your caloric intake, and foods high in nutritive value. Get to a point where you can digest more calories, hypercaloric state, digest more calories, burn it off, keep utilizing it, so you can just digest more food, digest more calories without it getting stored as fat. So it gets stored as energy, you burn it off, store it as energy, utilize it as energy, make more metabolites from that point on. This is not the end of the video. Fuck was that? There was just like a leaf crashing from there. Anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing day. It's good to get back out here and make a video. I mean, I enjoy every time I make a video for you guys, but decaffeination and the truth. Decaffeinated coffee. So that's like the one thing that shows. And what does this relate back to? So do you guys remember the dextrose monohydrate video that I did? Powder form, simplest powder form of carbohydrates, usually found in supplementations. Along with that, they can be found in like protein bars. Along with that too, granola bars too, along with high fructose corn syrup and dextrose monohydrate. They can be found in pancakes. Hell yeah, they can be found in bread too, along with that. This is the reason high fructose corn syrup. You don't need dextrose monohydrate fucking with your blood glucose level, your blood sugar. Make it even harder on the hormone insulin to be made in the body, produced, formed in the pancreas, so it can regulate, stabilize your blood glucose level. But you cannot rely on glucogen because that is the second hormone known to stabilize your blood glucose level and helping stabilizing your blood glucose level. But again, when you're not doing anything, you have a corrected amount of carbohydrate intake. It's either too high or too low. Then it's not the hormone insulin and glucagon are not going to be able to work. And what I mean by this, it has to be a constant rate. So it cannot be too high or too low. It just has to be just right so it can regulate, it can stabilize, it can control it. Too high or too low, it cannot control it. It gets out of control. Even from that point on, you get things like low blood sugar, you get things like high blood sugar, hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, diabetes, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetic. it's not a good life. I mean, as we really look at the whole nation as one, we see that everybody like this one quote: health is not valued till sickness comes. It's a brilliant quote. You guys should do like the Brian Fitness quote: intensity is greater than capacity. Anyways, yeah, decaffeination, the truth video. But along with this, along with energy drinks, and along with bread, along with supplementations, we can be looking at things like Monster, Powerade, Gatorade. We can look at sweets like Hostess. Yeah, give me like a Twinkie, a ho ho. Give me that. Put that in my belly. Oh, that sounds good, so good right now. I want a freaking Twinkie. I want a ho ho. I want a what do you call it? Pecan roll. Oh god, those were. I don't know about you, but that was the shit back then. You pop open a pecan roll. Oh goodness, some diabetes for you right there. Nothing from it, again, empty calories basically. But along with that, dextrose monohydrate is also highest in coffee as well in decaffeination. Now, what's the effects that has on your body? So let's recap. So you need a balance of micronutrients, macrominerals, and vitamins that starts all the time to have good nourishment. To have good nutrition, get down to the esophagus, to the gastrointestinal tract. And whether it's with the help of sulfur fiber, or probiotics, it gets fully digested. Either way, it gets digested, it gets fully digested. With the help of sulfur fiber, probiotics, it breaks that dense blockage so it can be fully digested, broken down, processed, synthesized. Energy can be released. Your basal metabolic rate, required amount of energy to make metabolites get to a point where when you're carbohydrate sensitive, empty calorie sensitive, to the point where you cannot burn off and utilize energy, to the point where you can just make calories, not so as fat, burn off and utilize that as energy. You're growing your metabolites from that point on. Your metabolism, your basal metabolic rate, as long as the functions and processes of metabolism are happening, I can assure you this, and this is again resetting your basal metabolic rate so that more metabolites can be made in the functions process of the metabolism can happen. Catabolic breakdowns, anabolic breakdowns, biosynthesis, muscle fiber, small to large, simple to complex, more of a lower capacity growth, higher capacity grow. So you can go from small to large, simple through complex. This is the whole concept of biosynthesis, going small to large. And again, metabolites are crucial in the growth, reduction, and development of muscle fibers. Make sure they go small to complex to simple to complex to small and large again. And you have more muscle fiber to recruitment. You have more muscle fiber to recruitment. You have more muscular hypertrophy. You have more muscle tone. You have more vascular, and usually a gaining in your basal metabolic rate. But going along with this, dextrose monohydrate is highest in so many things as it listed, even candy. You look at like I just remember the name. It's the Star Crunch. You know those Star Crunches that I don't know who makes. Somebody makes those Star Crunches. I tell you, those are freaking brilliant. But of course, I don't eat this shit. I'm a preacher. I don't do any of this stuff. It's a good time being out today. But as we look at dextrose monohydrate, the foods that are highest in dextrose monohydrate, it does not do anything for your blood glucose level, but get even more corrupted amount of carbohydrates, more even unstable, so that the hormone insulin cannot regulate it, glucagon cannot regulate it, it gets even out of control. And this is the point where you get low blood sugar, you get high blood sugar, premature death, bad liver function, liver failure. So I know you guys are gonna come with me with the unnatural cholesterol along with the narrowed arteries when the natural cholesterol is not flowing correctly, so it gets narrowed. And in order to all this unnatural cholesterol, that does lead in all of these fats that have an LDL buildup. What do I mean by this? LDL, a blood plasma lipid protein that delivers and supplies cholesterol to the body cells and muscle tissue to basically deteriorate it and break it down. So the same thing, we go for premature death along with that, having so many unsaturated fats, having so many fats with an LDL buildup that are higher in cholesterol rather than having omega-7 fatty acids or omega-3 fatty acids that are naturally low in cholesterol and can lower your cholesterol because they do not have the buildup. They're part of the monounsaturated fats family, which is really low in cholesterol. Anyway, polyunsaturated fat family, other things like omega-6 fatty acids, and along with omega-6 fatty acids, part of the polyunsaturated fat group. And rather, omega-7 fatty acids, part of the monounsaturated fat group. And also, we're going to be talking about omega-3 fatty acids, the classic one we all know. You know that one. Omega-9 fatty acids are oleic acids. Now, they're not recommended, but they do a lot to lower your cholesterol at any point. So as we're going to the point of LDL, there's so much unnatural cholesterol, we don't have enough natural cholesterol. And the liver, again, it doesn't make cholesterol, it regulates cholesterol. it cannot control unnatural cholesterol. So when you have so much unnatural cholesterol, it affects the heart, cardiovascular diseases, cardiovascular deaths to the point where you have a fatty heart, and you get things like what you usually have poor blood circulation too. So the point of this is that your heart has a relationship with the blood vessels to supply and deliver oxygen to the body cells and muscle tissue. Since cholesterol is being supplied to the body cells and muscle tissue, they deteriorate, break down, and it's not good for you, especially for your cell health. But going into this is something I wanted to cover fairly soon. So, some coffee. I had me some coffee, some energy. Ooh, I don't even have high metabolism. I have a low metabolism. So anytime I eat the foods that are high in carbohydrates or empty calories, I cannot burn it off, and it basically gets stored as fat. So that's the thing about coffee. That's the thing about foods high in carbohydrates, high in empty calories. Is that when you have a low metabolism, you cannot burn it off, so you just gain in body composition. That's the thing. When I talk about supplementation, get to a point where you can burn off, utilize, and digest more calories, and grow your metabolism at that point. You can't force your metabolism to be high. I mean, it's generally and as I look across this, there's so many people that have gone through this very same experience. I mean, they're not a majority of them is really gifted by their genetics. Yeah, they usually have a high metabolism, and they don't have to worry about being over. They don't have the same struggles of losing weight because I mean they're not fat. You know, this game they have high metabolism, and they don't have like the marks that we leave on our body, and it's very it's something that they don't understand. You cannot understand an obese person unless you are them. I mean, this one doctor, he intentionally gained like what 20 pounds, 30 pounds just to understand what people were going through and how hard of a struggle it was to lose weight. And I don't think that's really what anybody understands. I make it so I put the body, the science. I don't know where that came from. The science of the body in my videos on Brian Psychophants. Anyways, going back to coffee, what does it do? So the liver also, along with making fats, along with making omega three fatty acids, and along with making omega-6 fatty acids, they do along with making fats that are lower in cholesterol, so you can control your cholesterol. You have more natural cholesterol that is good for you to actually lower your cholesterol, so you don't have cholesterol spikes. You have LDL, bad cholesterol, high cholesterol, low density lipoprotein, high density lipoprotein, which is naturally lower in cholesterol, doesn't have the LDL buildup. It's not very reactive. It's not part of the polyunsaturated fat